The next, this next slide, those are my size 6 shoes. And what I want to tell you is that I promise to bring my best self to fill those shoes as I serve as your sabbatical minister. Labor Day weekend always means a new beginning to me. It's the start of the school year, the start of the church year. At sundown, it's the beginning of Rosh Hashanah, the Jewish New Year. Poet Muriel Rukeyser had this to say about new beginnings. Nourish the beginning. Let us nourish beginnings. Not all things are blessed, but the seeds of all things are blessed. The blessing is in the seed. I'm so happy to be with you celebrating these new beginnings and the official end of summer. And oh my goodness, my friends, what a summer it has been. Do you remember that President Biden promised us on July 4th that this was going to be a great summer? Right? It wasn't, was it? We've seen the tragic end of Afghanistan, the devastation in Haiti, hurricanes and tornadoes in the east and south, the wildfires in California, the dramatic rise in the Delta variant, and COVID spreading across the United States and indeed the world once again. I know many of us are feeling traumatized. And what I hope that over my next 5 months with you, we can together find some resilience, some hope, some sustenance and support. If you've been away from services for the summer, and I think probably some of you are, and some of you I know are returning after a while, I hope you're having a feeling of this new beginning is coming home. Poet Robert Frost famously said, home is the place where when you have to go there, they have to take you in. We know we are home when we feel safe, accepted, loved, and trusted. We know we are home when we feel comforted by the familiar and that we will be accepted just the way we are. Connection helps us to feel at home. I'm wondering if any of you read Sebastian Junger's 2016 book, Tribe. Tribe's primary thesis is that American society has lost a sense of center and community, and that there is much we can learn about loyalty and belonging from our indigenous peoples. Junger introduced me to the idea of self-determination theory. In order to be happy, this theory says that we need 3 things: to feel competent, to be authentic in our lives, and to feel connected to other people. A tribe is defined by a deep sense of community and connection, where we know what to expect of each other and where we work together on common goals. In many ways, church in our society functions as a kind of tribe. So when you see each other in the larger community and you connect, whether it's at the store or at the beach or at a community event, isn't it a little bit like recognizing a member of your tribe? Or when I go to a protest rally in downtown Washington and I see all those ugly yellows standing on the side of love t-shirts around me, I experience a sense of recognition and tribe. When we go to General Assembly in person, we learn that we are part of a larger community. Indeed, the very name of our denomination is communal. We are the Unitarian Universalist Association of Congregations. Now, as you know, unlike most religions in America, we are non-creedal. We don't require any particular belief, a belief in God or Jesus or the Nicene Creed. In fact, 9 in 10 of us are refugees from other religions. Unitarian 20th century theologian James Luther Adams called us the come-outers. We have come out of other religions to this one. Most of us, not all of us, but most of us left our cradle religion. As a quick aside, do you know what I mean by cradle religion? So those are the religions or religious teachings we grew up with as children. And I believed those are kind of hardwired into us. Let me give you a quick example. I come from a Jewish background. I am quite certain that if I was in a plane that was about to crash, I would say a Shema. Maybe if you were from a Christian background, you would say the Lord's Prayer. And I'm guessing not many of us at that moment would say the Unitarian Universalist principles and practices, right? Right. So the reality is most of us here have left another church, synagogue, or mosque to come to this religion, Unitarian Universalism, that is based on nothing more and everything more than love. We are held together by our belief in the dignity and worth of all people, the democratic process, the unfettered individual search for truth and meaning, and the interdependent web of all existence. Unitarian Universalist churches across the country are spiritual centers with a commitment to justice. Our common mission across the United States is to, using a UU marketing phrase, to nurture our spiritualities and help heal the world. You're going to hear me say over and over again in different sermons during the next 5 months that there is nothing more important than how we treat each other. My theology is fundamentally incarnational. We have been given these bodies, this time, to experience relationship with one another and to tikkun olam, to heal the world of its brokenness. How we treat each other here is more important than the outcome of any decision, any policy, any committee deliberation you make. How we treat each other is doing and being church. In the words of the Blake Covenant, used by about a third of our congregations, love is the spirit of the church. And just like in our family homes, it is listening, forgiveness, acceptance, and a commitment to each other that gets us through the times when we are not our best selves. It is our connection that gets us through. So they say that every minister has one sermon that they give over and over again. So I'm going to give you advance notice. My one sermon is life is not a dress rehearsal. Every day, no matter how challenging we perceive the day will be when we wake up, every day we are called to begin again with gratitude and to remind ourselves that life is temporary. Thich Nhat Hanh writes, every 24 hours is a tremendous gift to us. So we should all learn to live in a way that makes joy and happiness possible. We can do this. Goes on, I think to myself that this day is a day to live fully. And I make the vow to live each moment of it in a way that is beautiful, solid, and free. You can do the same thing when you wake up. Breathe in and tell yourself that a new day has been offered to you and you are here to live it. So really, I want you to do this with me. I want you to take a deep breath and I want you to say to yourself, a new day has been offered to me and I am here to live it. Okay, again, a new day has been offered to me and I am here to live it. See, my friends, we can choose to bring ourselves fully to each day, regardless of our circumstances. These words, Thich Nhat Hanh's words, reflect a parable that I love. It's the story of the monk and the crystal glass. And I want to show you my beautiful crystal glass that was given to me by a dear friend. And so in this story, the people of the town come to a wise old monk. You know that the monks in these stories are always wise and old, right? And they say to the wise old monk, how can you be happy in the midst of all this suffering, of the certain knowledge that everyone in this town will die, that bad days are here and more are sure to come? So the monk thought for a minute and he held up his beautiful glass and he said, do you see this glass? It was given to me by a special friend. I love this glass. But one day the wind may blow and knock my glass over, or somebody may come by and accidentally knock my glass off the desk. I know that the glass is already broken, and so I choose to enjoy it immensely. I know, my friends, that I only have 5 months with you. My glass is already broken, but the reality is, so is yours. This life, this glass is already broken. So my hope for you is that you will choose to treasure it, choose to enjoy it immensely, treasure this time together, treasure it immensely. Welcome home to this new church year.